As we see by the images here in the Richard Feigen galleries of European art, medieval conceptions of the divine and the human were extraordinarily diverse and rich. In popular imagination, the medieval period is often thought of as a dark age, as a time of monks and ignorance, a time when learning had been suppressed and it was a form of religion which was monolithic and itself oppressive. But as we make the transition from the ancient world into the medieval, we're going to find that there's an extraordinary growth and flourishing of religion in a remarkable way. Certainly, there are lines of continuity. The battle against heresy, monasticism, about which we've already spoken, which would become so central to the religious life of the West. But theology, art, the building of great cathedrals, such as Chartres, all played their role in the development of a rich and diverse religious culture. But we will see new themes as well: the growth of the papacy, the struggle against heresy, the Crusades, and the darker side of attitudes towards the Jews and Islam, the Inquisition in Spain. But one of the most striking aspects of late medieval culture that we will talk about is the growth of an intense devotion, and devotion towards the suffering of Christ. And we can stop here for one image that represents that tradition so richly. Here we have from the 15th century, Christ with a crown of thorns and blood pouring down his face. The idea is of intense devotion to the very person, that Christ suffers on our behalf, that Christ is with us in suffering. The late medieval period was also a time of extraordinary innovation, and in no more clear way than with the Gutenberg Bible, which was produced with movable type. Surely the beginning of a revolution. This Bible, beautifully represented with its illustrations here, and intended to look like the best of manuscripts, became a sign of what was to come, the printing revolution of the early modern period. Medieval religion and politics and society was one that was of constant change and flux. It was one that lived under the threat of plague, death, and war. But it produced some of the most extraordinary visions of the divine.